Professor Toko Mayakisi, Vice Chancellor of University of Mpumalanga, Professor Zweli Mpihi, President of SAPEN, Mr. Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to South Africa, His Excellency Mr. Mahash Saeed Al-Hamli. And this is the correct word to say. Well, good morning. Good morning to all of you. And I think for me it's the first 15 minutes you'll get bored. But the other half an hour you will jump in happiness and interesting talk. So bear with me the first 15 minutes. Well, it's about trends towards innovative, sustainable smart cities. An example is UAE as an example. So we are going to talk about UAE. What is it that has made that successful? I believe in competition and not so competition means cooperation and competition. Those both work together. Plus, disruptive education, disruptive innovation is very important because it disrupts the market. There are jobs that fall, there are jobs that rise, and there are companies that fall, the companies that rise. So it's all disruptive to the market. At the beginning, before I start, I'd like to talk about the human capital. The human capital is very important because that's what we do all our lives. No matter what service you give to human being. Education, human being. Robot, serve human being. Sports, human being. Again, whatever we do, we serve the human being. So if we don't take care of that human capital, we will be in trouble. And we will not develop and catch up with the rest of the world. So a true leader said, this is what has convinced us to direct all our resources to building the individual. Underline, individual. This is what it is, and to using the wealth which God has provided us in the service of the nation. So at the end, it's always an individual, and wealth is not money. Wealth lies in men, and men in general mean men and women, by the way. And this was said by the late President of UAE, United Arab University, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Another true leader said, the Federation of the United Arab Emirates, you can see, whatever it says, anything got to do with richness is through wealth, it's people. So the people is the wealth of the country of UAE. This is by the President, His Sheikh Khalid bin Zayed Al Nahyan. A true leader said, yes, we seek to make people happy. A leader says that, to make people happy. That's what it is. And making people happy will be our objective and mission until it becomes a permanent and deep-rooted reality and habit. That's why we have Minister of Happiness in the United Arab Emirates. We do have. The positive leader does not succumb to circumstances. He or she makes the best out of them in order to build a new future for the people. That's what the leader does. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President, Prime Minister of UAE and ruler of Dubai. And also, a true leader said, if we invest in education now, then after 50 years, we will be celebrating when we export the last barrel of oil. This says there is a vision now. In 50 years, we have to be sustainable after oil. So we work today to make it happen. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and the Deputy Commander-in-Chief, Chief Commander of UAE. He also said that there is no place for those who lack science and knowledge. Now my speech. Introduction. I'll do some introduction. The requirements for sustainable of smart cities. There are 4 requirements: leadership and innovation, knowledge-based society, ecosystem. And in knowledge-based system, there are 4 elements: education, quality and only quality. Then you go to research and business development. I underline the word business. And innovation and entrepreneurship. The last but not the least, ICT infrastructure. We have in UAE called something called Ankabut. This is a National Research and Education Network, which is Internet 2. Third one is future trends and technologies, and then we have the summary. Strategic vision after oil to achieve a long-term, sustainable, prosperous, and productive lifestyle after oil for UAE's next generations. So this is what it is. We made sure that it's sustainable, it's prosperous, and we have the same lifestyle we have today or better. And of course, there are some requirements. How can we do it? First of all, quality education. Second one, research and business development. Third, innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship centers. Last but not the least, robust, secure, high-speed, seamless, and reliable ICT infrastructure. ICT infrastructure is the future because if you don't have that infrastructure, you can never catch up with the world. Things are happening, speed is going so high, 5G is coming, so many things are happening. Blockchain, all of this require very robust and mainly reliable and secure. Secure because one day there will be capsules in your body that somebody can hack if you don't have security. Yes, so make sure that you have the security there. What is the goal of all this? For me, it's made in UAE, sold globally. So you want to make in UAE, sold globally. You want to be from taker to maker. We were takers, we were consumers. Now, made in UAE, sold globally. And you can say in South Africa, made locally, sold globally. Now, if you look at the milestone electronics, Professor Zweli talked about it, is the electronics technology revolution. The first thing started in 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell when he invented the phone. And then so you start from wired analog communication, then wireless, which is by Marconi in 1899. He started his first wireless communication experiment in the English Channel, and then 1901 through Atlantic Ocean. Then comes from wire to wireless to discrete communication. This was known as the famous Nyquist-Bond. It's called sampling theorem, 1928. Then we went into digital communications by Shannon's three main theorems of information theory, and also invention of transistors in the year 1958. I met Shannon and Claude Shannon in Singapore once. He was on wheelchair. He passed away. Satellite communications, Sputnik was the first one. He's all part of it. Optical communication, laser was invented in 1958. Internet, birth of ARPANET, but we were not in the age of internet until the 90s. So internet age started in the 90s. So I have a different revolutions, not the one that Schwab talks about, the fourth industrial. I have many of them. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 3, then 4, and then 4, and then 5 will come. Information data, age. Data manipulation, which is 2000s, first decade of 2000. Then knowledge age, smart cities, 2010s. And the future is cognitive digital age, robotics and cognitive intelligence, not artificial intelligence. That's the 20s. So these are the 4 industrial revolutions. I care about this one, 4th industrial revolution. The elements of it is well known. It's cloud computing, it's nanotechnology, biotechnology, bio-nanotechnology, robotics, artificial intelligence, in parentheses, cognitive intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, the last but not the least, blockchain. And UAE are doing, we have actually a Minister of Artificial Intelligence. So now we have Minister of Happiness, Artificial Intelligence. And you look at this, we're a year of tolerance this year. In UAE, year of tolerance. We have a Minister of Tolerance. So we are doers. We don't just say it. We make them happen. We execute it. Now you are awake? If you look at the revolution of the X cities, it started with ECT, services online. Then started with MCT, mobile, services on mobile. Then ubiquitous city. That means both of them are everywhere. E and M. E and M, so electronic and mobile. And then smart city. Knowledge-based, ubiquitous services to everyone. And of course, we can have smart classrooms, smart health, smart tourism, smart buildings, smart homes, smart transportation, smart energy management, smart agriculture, smart security, and the S list goes on. So we need to make sure R&D is big data and cloud computing, security, IoT, blockchain, and the list goes on. What is a smart city? Well, let's define a smart city. Cities that deliver digital ubiquitous services from and to anyone, from any device, anywhere, and anytime, efficiently using the same infrastructure, robust, super speed, reliable, and secure ICT infrastructure. Now we have Smart Dubai. It's an entity in Dubai called Smart Dubai. It has a CEO. And what they are doing right now, they have paperless. So there is a vision that in 2021, Dubai government will go completely paper-free. Dubai government, I don't mean private, only the public sector, will go paperless 100%. So no papers are allowed in 2021. Then you go to, it'll be like 1 billion pieces of paper used for government transactions every year. That's a big thing. Then we're going to talk about artificial intelligence principles and ethics, how we need to put these policies to make it happen. So Dubai ethical AI toolkit has been created to provide these kinds of practical access to the ecosystem. Then we have artificial intelligence lab. This is the first kind, a lab that is accelerating Dubai towards becoming the smartest city in the world. So we have that lab that people go in, do things, innovate, and make things smart, and then they decide to become the startup or whatever it is, maximize the visitor satisfaction. Startup support. If someone wants to start up, again, there is in the initiative is the startup support. Then we have happiness agenda. This is what I talk about. Since it's called Smart Dubai, actually it should be called Smart Happy Dubai. So we want to make Dubai the happiest city on earth. It can happen. It's already happening. Of course, it's not Dubai only, it's UAE. But this is I'm talking about Dubai only. UAE is the same thing. All of us are working towards happiness. In the University of Dubai, I have a council called Happiness Council. I have a CEO of Happiness in the University of Dubai. Then blockchain. If you look at the blockchain strategy will help Dubai achieve His Highness's vision to become Dubai the first only fully powered by blockchain by 2020. So in 2020, we will have blockchain completely the platform of Dubai. Completely. Already in the University of Dubai, we have the degrees certificate through blockchain. Then Smart City Global Network. Now we want to also the others to join. Largest network of smart cities in the world. And then apps. What apps do we have? Do they have? We have Dubai Now. So all the services out of 55 smart services of 22 government entities, they all are a part of this. So when you enter Dubai Now, you can have any service through Dubai Now that goes to the service. There is one that will be different a little bit. I'll talk about it. Then we have Dubai Careers. So you can go to this to find jobs and to find everything. Not only me as a job seeker, but also the companies that are looking for employees. Now, happiness meter. At Dubai Smart, we have a meter that they actually measure the happiness of an organization. So all the government entities, they have a measure that goes directly to Smart Dubai. It goes directly there and measures the happiness. So they can tell this one is 50% happy, this was 80% happy. Nowadays, by the way, most of the governments are more than 80% happiness. Yes. UAE Pass, this is also digital signature, everything will be easy. This is also shows you where to go, where to dine, where to whatever you want. The Rashid is the guider, and then the guide, sorry. And then smart employee. Again, everything, the manager, the employees, all of them They go to the workplace, everything being done automatically. Smart supplier, so the supplier of the government, they also can be enter this domain. Dubai Pulse is the digital backbone powering the smart city to help spread happiness among all Dubai residents and visitors. It's not only the government, not only the organization, but the people around Dubai, all of them. And then Dubai Now portal is the same as Dubai Now, but now then it will be completely, all the entities will be in. You don't need to go through them. They will be all in Dubai Smart. And of course, like ERP, on enterprise resource planning, we have government resource planning part of this apps. So this is Smart Dubai applications. The second one, the requirements for sustainable smart cities. First one is introduction. Now we start. First of all is leadership. I want you young leaders to be lions and work towards leading lions. Never lead sheep because you'll be sheep one day. So make sure you lead lions. That your strength is their strength is your strength. Who initiate, suggest, and debate. This is by Sheikh Muhammad. He said it. Thinking is progress. Non-thinking is stagnation of the individual, organization, and the country. Of course, thinking leads to action, but knowledge without action is useless and irrelevant. You need to have knowledge. You need to make sure acquire knowledge and then use it, implement it. Knowledge with action converts adversity into prosperity. This was said by the previous President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. We choose to go to the moon and do other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. So whatever you do, you have to make sure you want to be successful. You want the economy to be sustainable, you have to work hard. Nothing is easy. Very simple. It was said in 1962 by John F. Kennedy in his famous speech. Leadership is a function of knowing yourself, having a vision. So you know yourself, have a vision that is well communicated, building trust among colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential. So this is leadership. But also, look at this. Leadership is like beauty. It's hard to define, but you know it when you see it. Right? Leadership, you know it when you see it, only you can't define it. This is my famous Warren Bettis. He passed away 6 years ago. And what are the characteristics of a leadership? A leader should have a vision. It should have a clear vision where the leader is going towards. And then they should know how to plan to reach the vision. If you don't know how to reach the vision, then your vision is nothing, is zero. A leader should be ambitious and innovative. By the way, all these elements are leadership. All of them have these kind of traits. A leader should lead by example. A leader should empower, give power to others, but not enough. You need to give tools also. So a leader should enable. So not empowering is not enough. You need to give them the tools to make it happen. A leader should produce leaders. Leader should be bold, and a leader should think out of the box. Never limit your thinking in a box. You should always think out of the box. Of course, the 10th one is from Sheikh Muhammad. I took it. A leader should create a favorable environment to bring out the energy and ability of the team. This is the happiness I'm talking about. A true leader has a book. He says, an easy life does not make men, nor does it build nations. Challenges make men, and it is these men who build nations. The race of excellence has no finish line. And once you reach somewhere, you have another peak to go. You're climbing a mountain, you reach a peak, you think that's it? No, you find another peak. So it's not a finish line. Simplicity starts in the heart, away from negativity and pessimism. Positivity creates miracles. A true leader is one who creates a favorable environment. This is what I said earlier. Change or you will be changed. This is our leaders say always. If you don't want to change, step aside, we'll bring another one to change. So change or you'll be changed. People who neglect the good of their people will be forsaken. Leadership and service, not a gateway to privilege. This is by Sheikh Muhammad in his book, Reflections on Happiness and Positivity. It's a good book to read. Second one, knowledge-based society ecosystem. I said we have 4 of them. One of them is quality and only quality education. What is the definition of smart or smarter institutions? Institutions that deliver digital, ubiquitous educational services to any student from any instructor, anywhere and anytime, efficiently, using digital pedagogical tools based on robust, again, super speed, reliable, and secure university. So this is what it is. This is called disruptive education. So if you finish bachelor's degree in 4 years, you can finish in 1 year if you use this concept. I'm not talking about it today, but I have another lecture for disruptive education. I'll do it in UAE. Now, education towards disruptive innovation. Technology as an innovation tool. Introduce techno-edutainment that gets the attention of learners. The students now, they are youngsters, they have different kinds of tools they use. Make sure you use their tools to attract them. Learn anywhere, anytime, and by any means. Virtual reality as a face-to-face learning using cloud computing or IoT. So even if you can make it a face-to-face by using virtual reality, you can. Some say, well, education far remotely is not good because we don't interact. But once it is face-to-face through virtual reality, it becomes as if you talk to somebody next to you. Second one, adaptive curricula and adaptive learning outcomes. One day it will come that every month will change the curriculum. You have to be ready for that coming. So market change, job requirements, rise and fall of specific job descriptions. And then innovative faculty. Please, no rote learning. No rote learning. This is where you kill the students. You have to be innovative. Kill their minds, their thinking. Thinking out of the box and delivering creative curricula. Research-oriented learning, broaden the scope of mind of the students. Team and collaborative work habits, 2 brains are better than 1. Innovative and creative thinking. You need to create inquisitive minds. Through entrepreneurship, the last but not the least, create an environment is L2L within students. L2L means love to learn. So instill in them love to learn. Once you do it, they will learn. Research and business development. I will get some statistics here. Research statistics. If you look at 2016, this is the R&D worldwide. This is the volume of how much you're spending through of your GDP, and this is what is the percentage of your expenditure with respect to the GDP, and this is how many scientists or engineers you have per million people. If you look at United States, the biggest chunk, but it's not first in terms of the percentage-wise. Percentage was South Korea, and then Israel and Japan. In the Arab world, we didn't have much. Qatar, we had Saudi Arabia and Egypt somewhere. That's it. So it was all very small. If you look at 2017, you find that the number 1 became Israel, then became South Africa, and then Japan. But look at the big chunk is still the United States. And then China. These two are spending so many billions of dollars. I'll talk about it also. And you can see this. This is more important than looking at all this. Per GDP, how much is spending? We are still, the Arab world, we are still low. And South Africa's here is still low. You can look at it. It's less than 1%. In 2019, which is taken 2018, you see that South Korea jumped so far away in terms of nearly 4.4. Then second Israel, Qatar retrieved a little bit, came here. But look at China, how big it is, very close to the United States. So now China is growing. Now this is in 2016. You look at the R&D was 2.77, and how much gross expenditure of research and development was $514 billion United States, and their GDP was 18 trillion. 18 trillion. China was 20 trillion, but it's much less in terms of spending and expenditure. R&D. In Arab world, we had Qatar was 2.7, and then Saudi Arabia 0.4, and Egypt 0.43. UAE, if you look at it, in 2011 we are really at 0.5. 14 became 0.694, which is nearly 0.7. 15 became 0.866. That means we are moving towards the right direction. This is 2006. It's going to be 16. This is 17, I think. 17, 18, 19. Yeah, this is the last one. 19. Look at China is catching up. It became nearly close to it, but GDP is much higher, 6 trillion higher than the United States. And same thing, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. But UAE now, 2016, became 1.0. I don't have the statistics now, but I think we are 1.5. So you're moving very quickly. In UAE, we don't move slowly, we move fast. So it could be, we are running against time. You know why we are running against time? Because oil is not forever. If you don't do it now, we have the capital to do it, you can never do it later. If you look at what will be the most important technologies by 2020, of course all of these, but I look at big data is very big thing that will happen. Robotics and automation, nanotechnology, cloud computing, renewable energy, artificial intelligence, and bio-nanotechnology. So, what is it in UAE or in the Arab world that we miss? And one of the things is, what do you mean by R&D? And I'm looking at R&D. What do you mean by R&D? It means to have a paper published, to be promoted as associate professor, full professor, or to publish a paper, but nothing affecting the GDP of the country. So the first thing, who are the constituents of the R&D? The first thing is the culture. We need to change the culture. I think it's not only Arab world, also Africa. We need to change the culture of R&D. It should be R&BD. We should have business sense in the R&D. So make sure that we do that kind of instillment, and then, of course, academia is always a part of it, and industry is another part of it. But who starts first? Industry or academia? Is it chicken and egg? It's not chicken and egg. It is academia. They need to prove that they can do. They need to get the trust of the industry. The industry will come to academia because it's cheap research. So we need to prove ourselves. Government plays a big role, especially in so many things, in creating the culture, the funds, initiate funds, and so on, and also the policies. Private sector is very important constituent because they are partners, they are venture capitalists, and also corporate social responsibility. If they all work together, then we will do the R&D. Innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship. In 2014, the President of UAE announced the National Innovation Strategy for the UAE in 7 sectors. I put it in these words. It's in transportation, in health, education, water resources, renewable energy, space, and technology. These are 7 sectors we are going to be innovative. We have already become innovative in transportation. We are going to have the Hyperloop, which could go 2 hours driving, could do it in 20 minutes, or 12 minutes actually. Hyperloop, it's completely frictionless. Then health, you're building so many hospitals. We have a free zone called health free zone. Then we have education, but it has to be disruptive. Water is scarce in our part of the world. Renewable energy is again another thing to work on after oil. Space. Now we are the 9th country in the world that has gone to space. We have built our own satellites. The last satellite was built completely by UAE citizens. Khalifa San, complete 100%. It was third satellite. The first wasn't, second wasn't, third was. So we had transferring technology and also transferring knowledge. And the last but not the least, technology should be disrupted. These are the 7 sectors that UAE is working on. One, in terms of innovation, never underestimate the value of an idea. Every positive idea has within it potential for success if it is managed properly. So don't ever demean your idea. Somebody once invented the needle, and now it's everywhere in the world. Right? The clothes, surgery, wherever you go, needle is there. The biggest risk is not to take the risk. That's said by Sheikh Muhammad. I say you miss 100% of the shots you didn't take. If you have a target and you don't try it, what's your success? 0%. But if you try it, you may succeed. So the probability goes higher, possibility goes higher. You have to take the risk, but calculated risk. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but it's too low and we reach it. So don't try to go low, try to go high. Well, Einstein said once, try not to become a man of success, rather to become a man of value. And he means that whatever you do, it has to be for the benefit of humanity. But of course, it's not enough. What Edison says, anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. So you need to sell it, you need to live, you need to take care of hunger, right? So both of them are correct. Now the innovation, there are so many of them. You see innovation in technology, innovation for social means, business model, government innovation system, but I'm looking at technology innovation. We have virtual and augmented reality, VR and AR, sensors, human enhancement, biotechnology, artificial intelligence and robotics, advanced materials, 3D printing, blockchain, telecommunications, of course, IT, entrepreneurship, and the fourth industrial revolution, which covers all of the below. Now, if you have an incubation center, you have an idea, you go a technical review, and then you go into an entrepreneurship center. You give, these are the incubatees, these are the services you're giving it, all the services, but something they miss, and that's why they are not successful, these centers. It's called Business Acceleration Center. This is what people miss. If I have an idea, I want to make sure that I can use it and make it a company, right? Turn it into a company. If you give me these services, then what? If I'm an engineer, I don't know anything about business, about law, about whatever, you need to give all these services. Marketing service, business development, sales support, accounting, legal, entrepreneurship training, mentoring, soft skills training, venture capital access, strategic partner access, recruitment and HR, IP management, technology support. All these are part of making this a success for the one who enters. If you want to make success more than 10%, which is worldwide known as 10%, then you need to do this. If you want to be failure, 1% success, then don't do this. Then you graduate to a startup. Well, in UAE we have some awards that we are going towards innovation. It's called annual drawings for good awards. International awards is $1 million and national is $1 million. So you want to enter that award. If you win, you get $1 million. And then there is annual robotics and artificial intelligence for good awards. This is again $1 million and $1 million dirham. Of course, I'm in charge of these two awards. But it's been frozen now. We're changing it. Once we change and do the right thing, because there's some tweaks need to be done, we'll again announce it, these two awards. Then we have Emirates Energy Award. I'm in charge of it again. And this Hamdan Muhammad Innovation Award for Project Management. This is international, and I'm the vice chair of the board of trustees of this award. 10X. Has anybody heard of 10X? Nobody. Even UAE, they have not heard of it. This is a new initiative in Dubai to make Dubai 10 times ahead of the world. And we are not kidding, we are doing it. We have a whole building, I call it the kitchen of Sheikh Hamad bin Rashid. It has 50 stories. Every floor has something doing. There is there's 2071, we have a vision for 2071. There is the Future Foundation. There are so many things all happening in this one. 10x is this. You can see this is Dubai. Of course, I am the judge of this 10X also. And these, the government only, 36 government entities, they compete for this 10X competition. Last year, we had 25 companies, 25 projects out of 136 that passed as a 10X. And this year, I think 15 or 16 of them. I'm not sure of the number. If you look at infrastructure, of course, you need a project for research and education. Of course, this is the idea concept is mine, my idea for the country, and the concept design. And this is something that will help the education sector and the research sector to enter the digital world. The speed is so high. If you are a university, you need an access of 1 gigabit per second. Top, it's point of presence. 1 gigabit per second to be a part of that, member of that. So everything is speed, high speed. And in the United States, they call it Internet 2. In Arabic, we call it Al-Kabut, which is meaning spider. So till now, we have 31 institutions in the country, 79 campuses. They all have IMU. Now, C is the third one, future technologies and IoT, Internet of Things. Machine intelligent quotient. Thinking humanly, of course, acting humanly, thinking rationally, and acting rationally, the machines. What means that if you buy a TV in the future, it will have an IQ. According to IQ, you pay more. If it's more IQ, you pay more. A television could be smart enough that understand the habits of the parent or the child. If I'm watching a movie and it's over 13, child is 12, they must stop it or change the channel. It will learn as it goes on. So that's one of the things. Television could be smart, coffee maker, refrigerator, air conditioner. Refrigerator, it sees you, knows what you want, it will give you out automatically. House, car, road navigator, phones, and the list goes on. Energy harvesting. Energy harvesting is what dissipates, we want to bring it back. If you are moving, we need to create the energy from that movement. Car is moving, we want to create that thing. So, it's, first of all, solar energy is one of them. The other one is movement, mechanical. So any mechanical movement will have, then we will turn it into energy. So no dissipation of energy. Of course, heat. Heat can also create energy, generate energy, and last but not the least, of course, electromagnetic waves. You know that electromagnetic waves in this part, it has thousands of waves. Television, everything is working from this. So if you put them all on one frequency, it will create a big energy. It will be very expensive to do all of them, maybe 10 of them, 20 of them. So energy harvesting is also the feature of clean energy. Of course, Moore's Law challenged because Moore's Law stopped in 2015. We thought that it will die. It's continued to grow with a tri transistor from Intel. So it's 3 gates into one gate, or 2 gates, sorry, one gate. Now comes the quantum computers. Of course, it's there already, they're working on it. Quantum computers could one day replace silicon chips. We have called them bits for the digital, but for this we call them qubits. Quantum bits. It could be 8 bits, it could be 4 bits, it could be 16 bits, and it goes on. Qubits represents atoms, ions, photons, and electrons. It's not on and off of a transistor. Of course, this causes parallelism, and then because a computer can do all these things, it has the potential to be millions of times more powerful than today's most powerful supercomputers. This is already on the way. There's one also DNA computers. I have that slide, I hid it, because another one, they're working on it. It will come maybe 50 years, not now. 5G. 5G is the technology of all the technologies ever. It's so powerful that your mobile, which is mobile 5G, will do everything. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need Bluetooth, you don't need anything. Everything will be done through 5G. The designers, of course, energy efficiency and spectral efficiency. It also has base station process moved to internet cloud now. It's not the base station, but more also the cell-centric, device-centric. So your device will be smart enough to know how much frequency you're using, how much band you're using, so you can keep other empty for others to use. So it'll be very smart, more intelligent terminals, mitigating interference and so on, and of course adoption of new technologies. So what will it do? The downlink will be 20 gigabits per second. 20 gigabits per second. It's never happened. It's never happened. The best 4G was 1 gigabit per second, and this is 20. Not only that, when we split, of course, minimum 1 millisecond latency. So the latency, if it's anything less than 500 milliseconds, is okay, but this is 1 millisecond. Then everything will be so speedy, you can use real-time surgery. You can do it from far away, real-time surgery, because there's no latency. It's so speed is so high that everything is real-time. It's coming. And plus 1 million connected devices instead of 1,000 before in my base station. 1 million. Why? Because we're going to have IoTs, Internet of Things, and so on. It goes on. So 5G is coming soon. It's there, but not standardized yet. In 2020, Expo 2020, we'll use the first 5G as a test bed for the International Telecommunication Union. We'll have a test bed in Dubai in the Expo 2020. Of course, when you talk about somebody hacking your body, if you have a capsule, so you go to the surgery, you swallow a capsule, it goes, it checks your sugar level, it checks everything, it maybe cuts something, if you have a cholesterol somewhere, it goes and cuts it and cleans it. There's so many things, but it's controlled wirelessly. Once it's controlled wirelessly, somebody can hack it. So you need to vaccinate the capsule. And this is the new technology. It's called Cognitive Early Warning Predictive System. This is the future, and this book, by the way, is a book by Dr. Rocky Terminini. I invited him to University of Hawaii. He gave a speech there, and he talks about this called early warning predictive system for smart cities. The biggest, of course, what he's trying to do is mimic the human body, the human immunity, and use it in digital immunity. So it'll be exactly like us, so we vaccinate the bodies. So this story is smart vaccine. At the end, we'll have in the cloud vaccination as a service. So you need it, just call it, and it will give you vaccination, done. No virus will come to you. So as you know, cloud computing has software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, then we have vaccination as a service, and of course, health as a service also. Internet of Things. The Internet of Things it's something, a device that is connected wirelessly, that has an address, that is smart, using artificial intelligence. This is Internet of Things. This is the definition. I said it in a layman's way. So things should have naming, sensing, and processing abilities. If you look at Internet of Things, when you're driving to a car, you want something at your home, you're going home, say, prepare coffee before we get home. This is simple. Then adjust to proper temperature. Monitor the room. Prepare healthy diet for us. Remind us of food in it. Remind us of schedule. But the most important thing is study with me anytime and anywhere. If I'm in the car, I can learn through this Internet of Things. In Tokyo, by the way, Olympic 2020 of Tokyo, they have everything smart. I think it'll be the smartest Olympics ever in the history of humankind. It'll be so smart that the robots will complement Olympic volunteers. They will be the teasers. You go there, they will receive you and talk to you and everything. Not only that, even the focus will be improving the fans and athletes' experience. If I'm a fan, I'll get so many intelligent services that I'll become happy there. Athletes, what do? They have Olympic devices, athlete clothing, wearables, smart stadiums, and smart cities. So if I am running, my boot will have an Internet thing and can send signal to either my trainer or my doctor that this guy needs to slow down. Or no, he can go faster. And then they'll tell him that. The glasses, the helmets, the gloves, everything will be Internet of Things. And it will happen in Tokyo 2020. Of course, he is also Francisco Maroto. He is a famous expert in robotics and artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. I invited him 2 months ago, or a month ago, at a conference I had. He came and had a speech. So age is not an issue in the technology world. You see, from child to So, well, I'll tell you, education, the R&D, incubation will lead to made in USA globally. So you don't need to produce technology to sell. You need to sell a book that be sold globally, literature sold globally, art sold globally, technology sold globally, every cinema. Even if you open a restaurant, you franchise it, you become global. Or you have a boutique, you franchise it, you become a restaurant, you become, you go global. So all this together that means you need to do something to make it global. So to affect the GDP of the country. Summary. What are the requirements to build a sustainable economy? Quality education, research and business development. Don't forget the word B, the letter B. Of course, research is funding, establish venture capital funds, incubation and automation centers, made in USA globally. By the way, there is something called Sheikh Mohammed Rashid's 50th anniversary charter. And article number 6 says we need to create free zones in the universities. So we are all working. Every university will have a free zone. Free zone for those who have ideas. So they have ideas, we incubate them, and once they become startups, we put them in the free zone of the university. So now every entity in the country is working towards innovation and entrepreneurship and making it made in UAE sourced globally. Infrastructure is very important, ICT. Of course, smart, fair, and committed leadership is the main requirement for a sustainable economy. So you have to take this into mind. In research, I say basic research should be 20%. We're doing it now, maybe later, more. Research and development 50%. But research and business development, we need 30%. This is what will affect make locally, solve globally. And of course, this is Schwab. He talked about, he is the one who coined the name Fourth Industrial Revolution. He says that we need leaders who are emotionally intelligent and able to model and champion cooperative working. They'll coach rather than command. They'll be driven by empathy, not ego. The digital revolution needs a different, more human kind of leadership. And the last but not the least, a commercial break, University of Dubai. A very quick commercial break. We'll talk about it. And this is the campus. It's a beautiful campus, you can see. And let's start saying, I have one presentation, one video I'll show you. Future favors the bold. Future is what our imagination leads us to. The future is what we create now. And the imagination of the future is limitless. This is my talk. Just watch this, Dubai Future Accelerators.
Here we are, 30 teams from around the world in one place to make some very exciting things happen.
Dubai is known as a global hub for many industries, and now Dubai is about to become a hub globally for technology.
Every breakthrough out there, every technology, every innovation, if that happens 10 times faster, it's going to change everything. These companies are established, they know what they're doing, they're really pushing the boundaries. It's not going to just shape the future of my industry, it's going to shape the whole world.
What I enjoy the most about the DFA is being in a place with a lot of great energy, with great people and great ideas.
Would it not be delightful if you could have the convenience of a car, but the efficiency of a bus? And what we do is bring the two together.
The experience at the DFA has been remarkable. They've enabled new relationships, broken down walls for us, and allowed us to really access government entities and officials that we never would have had a chance to operate.
We partnering with DIVA, and for DIVA we solve two challenges. One is decreasing of the amount of energy which people use.
We've created a new type of cooling technology that can create constant cooling without constant power.
Our goal is to create problems for students to solve so they can train problem-solving skills in a lab as much as they need to, and then when they go out into the real world, they can apply those problem-solving skills to face new challenges.
Future of food for us is to try and produce locally in as many places as possible. And really the idea for us is to end as much of food logistics as possible.
Hyperloop One is an autonomous mobility company that moves people and cargo at speeds of approximately 1,100 kilometers an hour.
What really struck us was the ambition and speed with which institutions here are willing to take risks and innovate.
I would say it's really at the forefront to serve its citizens and the global community at large.
I think Dubai can be the innovation capital of the world through such processes.
Dubai will write itself into the history of humankind by starting a new era.
And this is in the tower, the Emirates Tower, one of them. Is one of the floors. So thank you all very much.